Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers podcast. Back after a very short break. Obviously, I've been away out of the country for a little bit, so haven't been able to edit videos or anything like that. So there hasn't been a podcast, but we are back this week. Me and Luke, how we doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, good, mate. Well, we've won. that's a bonus from being off for a week and a half, mate. Maybe more often.
Yeah.
We've won. I'm quite glad we didn't do a podcast last week, to be honest, because it was a real slating Slav, slating the ball.
Doom and gloom.
Listen, I'm not sitting a bald lover at all. Let's not put that as a doubt, but there was a lot of negativity last week, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, and rightly so. Rightly so. We'll come to it shortly, I'm sure. But you know, there's still, yes, we won, fantastic, but there's still a lot of work to do. But yeah, no, brilliant to get the win. At last, you know, that's that off our backs, and now we really need to push on.
It was good to be back at home as well, weren't it, really? Listen, it seems like a long time ago now, by the time this goes out on Friday. But yeah, it was just, there was a lot of hunger. The lineup was good. Still a little bit sceptical about why Hernandez is playing left wing. But Obiang coming back in was really good. Obviously, Noble, they said he was injured, possibly dropped. I don't know. But a lot better lineup. And there's some problems there. Arnautovic will be back this week. Obviously, when Lanzini comes back, there's going to be some selection problems there, no?
Yeah, big time. I don't understand. I mean, when we saw the lineup, everyone thought, brilliant. He's going for it. He's going two up top. He's going Hernandez and Carroll up top. That was not it at all. I've seen a lot of people defending, oh no, he wasn't playing on the wing, he was playing inside forward or whatever. Believe me, half the time I was looking at him, he was playing on the wing, and he was playing really deep. Like, you don't buy a player who's scored every single one of his Premier League goals from inside the box and then put him outside the box. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Probably the best striker we've had in, I don't know, probably since Jermaine Defoe, really. And
big time.
Yeah, you're playing him left wing.
Natural finisher. I mean, it was a weird game. It was a weird game. I was saying at the time,
it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. And I was over for the game, so I was there, and it was actually quite interesting. I spent the first half in the upper tier. It gave you a really good view over the pitch, and then the second half I moved down to the bottom to like row 15 on the corner, just to get a bit more of the atmosphere and that. But it was a weird game. Like, obviously, we right at the start, you know, we could have scored. Kouyaté inches away from tapping it in, literally seconds into the game.
Yeah, Carroll was excellent the way he brought that down as well, because Carroll brought it down, didn't he? And
did really well.
He was excellent, to be honest. He was excellent, Carroll.
Hernandez hit the bar.
Yeah.
Collins had a really good chance. We could have been 3-4-0 up at half time. But we weren't playing great. We looked really nervous. We were very panicky on the ball, which is kind of understandable coming off the back of 3 defeats. But we didn't look comfortable, and we weren't really playing good football. We were just pretty much hoofing it up to Carroll every opportunity. It wasn't good to watch. But like I say, they never had the chance really that first half, and we could have had 3 or 4. It was a weird game.
Comments looked dangerous for them when he had the ball. What do you make of Antonio's performance though?
Yeah, I mean, brilliant. Great to see him back. And he's direct, and that's what we've been missing. You know, he's someone who's going to get his head down and run. I tell you what, for someone who's just come back, he was so fast, like scarily quick, knocking the ball on and chasing. He was leaving the Huddersfield defenders like for dust. Still, his end product is a little bit non-existent, but you know, that's what you get with him.
I thought he looked technically better, actually. Like, there was a bit where I called it
he did one good skill move.
The Neymar turn. Like, he just absolutely destroyed that geezer.
Yeah. No, it was good. Good to see him, and it was great to see him back.
No one will catch him. I think even like some really good right backs and left backs in the Premier League will be frightened with him running at you. He's an absolute train of a geezer. I thought Cresswell played well as well. A lot of West channels reviewing the game said that he actually put in some decent corners for a change.
I mean, it was for me, it was 50-50. For every corner that went into the box, the other one hit the first man. Do you know what I mean? It was better,
Zabaleta
but it
impressed
weren't.
me as well. Zabaleta was
And then
excellent.
obviously that free kick that he took, he completely skied as
Lovely.
well, Cresswell. But yeah, no, Zabaleta brilliant. Just pure work rate, and he got forward really well actually. A lot of worries about Zabaleta, his legs are gone. He got up and down that pitch, no problem.
He's a leader.
I mean,
leader as well.
Nobody really played bad. I'd say Kouyaté didn't have the best of games, but apart from that, no one played bad. Hernandez worked hard, like I say, he hit the bar. There was a few times where he was chasing the ball down to the keeper, but he was doing it on his own, and you could see he was getting frustrated. There was one I remember, he ran because he was playing so deep. He ran pretty much from our half all the way back, chased the ball all the way back to their goalkeeper to put pressure on the goalkeeper. And when he turned around, there was nobody with him. There were no other West Ham players putting an effort in, and you could see him throw his hands up, like saying, "What am I doing? Why am I doing this? If you're just going to sit there." You could see he was getting frustrated. He got subbed off.
Yeah, I was about to say that at that point. Obviously, it's been discussed well now on all the West Ham channels. But yeah, obviously he did come off. Everyone's sitting there, probably at home in the stadium, were thinking, "Oh my God, Slav, what are you doing?"
Like ridiculous. The crowd turned like that, But I don't know. Don't get me wrong, right? Obviously,
he did the magic, mate. I see you actually put a tweet out when you come on, didn't you? Saying, "Oh, what's you going to do?"
No, I didn't say nothing about it. No, I didn't. See, this is the thing. I said bringing off, playing Hernandez on the wing and then subbing him off after 65 minutes. Bye Slav, and that was definitely the feeling in the ground. Nothing against Ayew. Ayew's a good player. And he came on and he did well. But I still don't understand the substitution. Slav got very, very lucky. Yeah. Lucky.
Ayew does what he's done best in a West Ham shirt so far. All of his goals have been exactly the same. Scrappy from corners.
Like, if Hernandez weren't doing it on the wing, obviously he's not a winger, and he wanted to bring on Ayew, someone who can play there, then why not bring off, like we were controlling the game, why not bring off a defender and then put Hernandez up front and then Ayew on the left? You know, why not bring off Carroll, who's just coming back, who's played just over an hour? Why not bring off Carroll, move Hernandez up front, put Ayew on the left? And I tell you, I said to the guy who I was standing next to in the stadium, you watch Ayew come on, and he said, "I'll watch Ayew's going to score now." But Ayew, it's as if Ayew doesn't care about instructions. He basically does what he wants. As soon as the first thing he did when he came on was he drifted straight into the box. So it's not as even if he came on and then played in the same position as Hernandez. He didn't. He came on and then played up front. I believe he was pretty much ignoring instructions. He just thought, no, sorry, I'm going to do what I want. Paid off for him.
But we very, very lucky goal with Obiang. But then obviously we've got the scrappy one to make it 2-0. Relief, really. Absolute relief.
Big time.
I assume it was felt all the way around the stadium, the relief of getting the win.
Oh yeah, massively, and we deserved it. Don't get me wrong, we deserved it big time.
Like I said, we weren't pretty, but we deserved it.
We deserved it. Like I say, we could have been 3-4-0 up in the first half, and it wouldn't have flattered us at all. Yeah, I mean, no question, we deserved that win, and it was a very good win. Again, I'm still not 100% sold on tactics, like why Hernandez was playing on the left, and then the substitution. I think Slav got very lucky with it. I know I'll probably get slated for that.
That's actually what I was going to go on to, mate. Obviously, that's the Huddersfield game. Great for a win, blah, blah, blah. Before we talk about West Brom, I do want to spend a little bit of time, good sort of 5-10 minutes, talking about Slav. Question mark, still there?
Big time. Yeah, of course. One win against the team playing in the Premier League for the first time, newly promoted, does not erase the past 12 months or whatever. I'll put on Twitter, you know, brilliant, really, really pleased we've got the win, of course. Delighted we got the win, and we've been saying for weeks we want Slav to turn it around. This is his chance.
Yeah.
This is his chance.
Nothing will please me more than seeing Slav go on like a 5, 6, 7 games to turn it around. But like you say,
it's like I said, if we don't now go on and improve and carry on in the same vein, yes, the fitness looked better, the work rate looked better. We still didn't look like we knew how to string 4 passes together. You know, we weren't playing good football. We were just kicking it long. Now, if we can start slowly, don't get me wrong, if we can get a couple of results now, then slowly start bringing good football back, brilliant, fantastic. If not, if we now go on and lose the next 2 or 3 games, it's just papering over the cracks. You know, one result does not change anything for me. It's a good start, but that's all it is. It's a good start.
For me, it only takes him to go back to the, and people are going to jump on me here, putting Mark Noble back in and dropping people like Obiang, just to sort of fill the spaces of these so-called undroppable players. Like on performance, you can't drop Obiang. For me, I think he does so much to tick the midfield over. I know Jay's a big fan of him, hammer and talk, but I don't know. He has got some selection problems coming though, 100%. I'd like to see Carroll, to be honest, being used for an hour every game and then take him off. Like even when if he goes like 5, 6, 7 games fit, I would just keep using him for an hour.
So then where do you play Hernandez?
That is the problem. That is the problem. But I think Carroll has to start because that's the way we play.
See, this is the thing. Like, that to me is absolute madness. Like, yes, I agree, Carroll, that's the way we play, but that's not the way we should be playing.
No, the players, it's not the way we should be playing. But that seems to be the only way we know. If
Carroll's playing for an hour, is Javier Hernandez going to be happy coming on for half hour every game?
But then I say start.
He'll be gone in January. Do you know what I mean?
Because really, left wing is going to be an Arnautovic.
See, this is the thing. You can't play 2 up front, because if you play 2 up front, then you can't play wingers, which means you can't play Arnautovic, you can't play Ayew, you can't play Antonio. If you play 1 up front, then you can fit in Antonio, Arnautovic, Ayew, but you can't fit in Hernandez and Carroll. Plus, if we're playing the same formation, if we're playing 5 at the back / 3 at the back with 2 wing backs, there's only really space for 2 midfielders. So where does Lanzini play?
I know, mate, I know that this is the issue.
The problem is that the formation that seems to work best for us doesn't fit our players. Our players that we've got, our best players, don't fit into that formation.
Like for me at the minute, like I love Lanzini, but I don't see his position. Well.
Exactly. He doesn't fit into that team unless he ends up playing on the wing.
Yeah.
And he's wasted.
He's wasted, yeah. He don't look as good.
I don't know. These are big problems for Slav to sort out. But
at the moment, Antonio is undroppable. And really, like I say, because of the way we're playing, Carroll is undroppable when fit. So it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to see nothing better, don't get me wrong, than seeing Carroll and Hernandez play up top together. But then, like you say, what midfield are you playing? That's it. Unless you're going 3 at the back with sort of wing backs, Arnautovic can't play as a wing back. Antonio can, but then you're going to have to play Cresswell as a wing back, and then, like I say, you're wasting midfielders then. I don't know. That's the only way I can sort of see it, as a 3 at the back, Cresswell, Antonio, Obiang, Chiatti, Lanzini on the point, and then Hernandez and Carroll up top, dropping Arnautovic. But then, again, are you going to drop Arnautovic?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how we line up on Saturday.
I don't think Arnautovic walks back in. Don't get me wrong. I think he sort of needs to. I wouldn't change the team at all, to be honest, from what started on against Huddersfield.
I don't know. Arnautovic might come in for Hernandez, because if you see Hernandez, the way that he came off, I could see him. If Slav says to him, right, you're starting again on the wing, I can see him saying.
That is a question for later, actually. So we'll save that for later. Someone asked that question earlier. Yeah. What else with Slav though? Is there anything else? Like, I liked that he brought Declan Rice on. I know it was only for a couple of minutes as well, so it was nice that he's not holding any grudges there.
Sacco came on as well.
Yeah. What was the reception? Was quite mixed, wasn't it?
He got booed.
He did get booed, yeah.
Yeah, he got booed, yeah, and rightly so, I think. I've been saying for a long time, I don't want to see him in a West Ham shirt. I don't care how good of a player he is. I don't care. I don't want to see him in a West Ham shirt.
Unless he bangs an hat-trick against Tottenham in a couple of weeks.
Even then, brilliant. Good for him if he does. But if he does, the only reason he'll be doing it is to try and get a move again to somebody else. No, I don't want to see him in a West Ham shirt. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It was a weird one, like I say. You would have to say, looking back on the game, that Slav got the substitutions right because we ended up going on to win. But like I say, the feeling in the ground when Hernandez got subbed off, that like I say, the atmosphere turned like that, just completely turned, and you could feel it. Everyone was thinking like, "What are you doing?
Yeah. I think
what are you doing?"
I think Lee texts me all the way from Belarus, and then you got my dad text me all at the same time. What is Slav doing? Like, he's gone. Like I say, got very lucky, and I'm glad he did get lucky. But that could have gone a lot very wrong. Very wrong. Yeah, like you say, hopefully not papering over the cracks at the minute. But
yeah, like I say, it's a good start. But that's all it is a good start. It needs to carry that on.
Yeah.
It needs to carry it on. We can't have another 3-4 games where we lose, and then it's another. Oh right, this is the game to save your job, and then he pulls out another 2-0 win. Can't carry on like that. You can't carry on like that. We need some consistency.
Someone made a really good point actually that we started really well. We had the nice energy back, that sort of last season at Upton Park energy back, but then we did drift back into it. That looked like we were tired, running out of ideas. We need to keep them performances up, because I can see the West Brom game, we just don't turn up like usual, and that's again, but that can't keep happening. We've got to start, boom, in your face.
Yeah.
But anyway, great to get some points on the board. So moving on, mate. Obviously, we're going to use today as the preview for the West Brom game, because obviously Paul's only just sort of got back from London, so we've not had much time to put a preview together. So West Brom, mate. I'm just getting up the results from last year, mate, because off the top of my head, I cannot remember them. I remember the away game being an absolute ridiculous one. Just bear with me for 2 seconds. So last year at West Brom, it was the 4-2 game. Do you remember that one when we conceded from our own corner and Lanzini was the only one running back?
Yeah.
So that was one of those ones that was really, really poor. Not the greatest games. I don't think we've got a really good record there either, do you? I don't remember winning there often.
No.
No. At the London Stadium, it was 2-2. A game I remember because I remember I was recording, and they scored from a corner in the last minute. Me and Lee got that on camera last year.
How many times did that happen as well last year?
Yeah. So not the best of hunting grounds for us. So.
It's going to be a tough game. I mean, obviously this year they've started really, really well. I think they're unbeaten.
No, actually, mate. Just looking here, they won at West. They beat Bournemouth 1-0. They beat Burnley 1-0. But then they got real tucked in last week against Brighton. They lost 3-1 to Brighton.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah. So that will be. They'll probably be looking for a response, though. That's the fear. Probably someone like Tony Pulis would not have liked conceding 3 goals.
Yeah, I feel like we've got a bad record against Pulis teams in general.
Yeah.
He knows how to set teams up and frustrate.
They'll be physical. Yeah. He'll know how to deal with someone like Andy Carroll. I remember playing West Brom when we first signed Andy Carroll. Actually, I don't think Pulis was there at the time. But all I remember was we was knocking it up to Carroll, and all they was doing was marking the players around Carroll.
Yeah, letting him win the knockdowns.
But yeah, covering
and then picking up the second ball.
Yeah, that great tactic to use. Let him win the header, but we'll just win the.
To be fair, that's how any team should really defend against Carroll, because you're not going to challenge him in the air. Let him win that ball, and then cover the second ball. It's like you say, mate. I don't think the kick it up long to Andy Carroll is going to work. I don't. We can only hope that maybe, for me, I would put Carroll on the bench for this game and start with Hernandez up front, try and actually play football, and then if it's not working, then you've got Carroll defenders. Then you've got Carroll to come on and sort of mix it up a bit. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, looking at their transfers, they brought in Kieran Gibbs, Gareth Barry, a bit of a Premier League legend, and obviously Jay Rodriguez, who's looked quite dangerous for him this year. Danger players for me: Solomon Rondon, big dangerous player. I think he likes scoring against us. I think he's had a couple against us, so he's one we're definitely going to have to watch out for. Just having a look, they're currently sitting 9th in the table, but it's not going to be easy, like you say, mate. It's not going to be easy at all. Just got to start getting their face early. I think Chiati's got to do a job on Jay Rodriguez in the middle, just sort of ticking them over.
Gareth Barry's a very good signing for them.
Yeah, he can just tick their midfield over. Like I say, he does the simple stuff. He does the stuff that Mark Noble should be doing. So at his age, that's the sort of player.
It's a funny thing to say. Yeah, it's a funny thing to say, but Gareth Barry is the player that Mark Noble should be.
Well, yeah, like him or like Michael Carrick. You know, like just someone who can come on, calm head, and keep the ball ticking. But Mark gets the ball, like just past the 18-yard box and panics. Like, I can't knock the ball in. That ball's too risky. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, what's your predictions, mate?
I really don't know. I can see goals.
Yeah, like I say, 4-2, 2-2 last year. I remember a 3-3.
Yeah, I can see a 3-2 with someone just scoring late. And I'll be optimistic. I'll say us to win 3-2 with a late goal from Andy Carroll. Why not? Do you know what? It'll probably be Sacco. It'll be 3-2 and Sacco will score the winner.
Yeah, I think 2-1. And then looking ahead, obviously, big one after that. We'll touch on it a little bit. Go on. Tottenham game, I think we'll get absolutely spanked.
We should do.
We're due. It sounds so bad coming from a West Ham fan. We're due a loss against them.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we up our game against them massively. And do you know what? I was going to say they haven't been great so far this year, but then Harry Kane started scoring again.
Yeah.
So
great performance against Dortmund last night as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Of course, it's going to be tough. That's always one of them games, though. I always think we're going to win.
Oh, that game can go either way. That game,
yeah.
Any time we play Tottenham, that can go either way because it's just so much. Form goes out the window with that game, as proven a couple of times against them. But yeah, at home we ain't got a bad record against them recently. I think we've won the last 2 at home. So yeah, hopefully I'll take the draw. Though would love a win, but I'll take the draw. Any other news, mate? I'll tell you what, we will touch on it actually because we've not touched it. What do you make of the email and stuff from the David? So obviously, like I say, there was no podcast last week, and people were asking for our opinions. What do you make of all that Carvalho saga,
mate? Like the first of like the emails. When I read them, when I saw them, I just thought they can't be real. They can't be real. Someone's made them up. That's a wind up. They can't be real. And then Sky were talking about them, and I thought, have Sky really just been done by this?
Yeah, because it looked like a child. It looked like a 14-year-old.
It's like
got a Paint Shop Pro or something like that.
It's like, did Sky really doing this? And then it apparently came out that no, these were actual genuine emails that we sent in an attempt to buy a player. And mate, I was just stunned. I was absolutely stunned. I can't believe we've ever bought a player ever off anybody. How do we ever buy anyone?
Well,
it's just unbelievable.
When it has apparently come out that was a genuine email now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It just sums it all up, really, doesn't it? Oh yeah, we'll give you 25 million. Yeah, if we qualify for the Champions League, you'll get this, and if you get this, yeah, can you blame them for turning that down?
No, of course not. Yeah, a player with a 40 million release clause. Do you know what I mean? It just stinks of the fact that they never intended to pay the money, you know. And it seems like, from what Slav's been saying since, to stick up for Slav, it seems like he thought that the deal was done. The other guy as well, Bruno Gomez from Barcelona, was it?
Yeah.
He thought was done as well. But then no, it sounds like they've basically strung Slav along, told him, oh yeah, you can get these players, but we need you to sell first. So he sold off after bleeding squad. And then when it's actually come down to it, they haven't put their money in, and it seems like they never had any intention of doing it, which is a shame because they really have hung him out to dry. Slav's got a lot of faults tactically and all the rest of it, but they have completely hung him out to dry on that, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And then you see in as well, apparently we're going to be back in for him in January. Well, why? First of all, why would they want to do?
King.
Yeah, the player might still be keen, but why would they want to do business with us after all this mudslinging?
Is he out of contract in July?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I can't remember. Because if he was, I think that means you can talk to the player in January. But then again, mate, big clubs have got to come sniffing, surely. No, if that is the case.
Of course. I don't know if he is his last year though.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember to be sure.
But why would? And if they didn't want to pay the money in the summer, why are they going to pay the money in January? I don't believe it. Don't believe it for a second.
Do you feel that they may be holding money off for a big manager to come in?
Possibly. I mean, that's the big thing that it sounds like it could be. They decided to leave their money just in case they had to sack him, and then obviously there's money there for a new manager in January. Could be, but even then, I don't agree with that at all. It's ridiculous. If they've got no confidence in him, sack him.
Yeah.
If they've got no confidence in him to do the job and they're holding money back, sack him.
Yeah, there's no point in holding money back just for a manager to come in and it'd be too late, and you have the issue in January where you're at the bottom of the table and none of these players want to come in anyway. Like, we've had it for loads of times where it's like, oh yeah, we'll try and get Sturridge in. Sturridge ain't going to come to a club that's sitting in the bottom three, or this one ain't going to come. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
no, real bad. It's come out really, really bad against the board. The whole thing. What amazes me as well is the fact that they've obviously put them emails out there to try and back their side up and say, no, look, we did make a bid. And it's as if they didn't even think of what people would think about seeing them emails. Like you say, it looked like it was written by a 5-year-old. Spelling mistakes and like, if we don't sign this player, then we'll borrow a player from PSG. Right. Yeah, obviously they were talking about that Krycheriak.
Yeah.
But it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. How can you conduct business that way?
It is a joke. It's absolute joke. I think that's enough for news and stuff, mate. There's not really much else to talk about, really. But yeah, you did do the tour, mate. Obviously, your video has gone out now. But yeah, big thank you to Stadium James for that. How was it, mate? General.
It was good.
I haven't checked it out yet.
It was really good. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do. It was the last video uploaded before this one, the stadium tour. Really good video, just showing sort of behind the scenes and a couple of the lounges, some of the different views in the stadium, all the behind the scenes stuff. Obviously, it was a match day tour as well, so that was really good. Going down into the tunnel and seeing the players' entrance. There's a few of the cars there, and like going into the dressing room, and all the shirts were being put out ready, and all the kits were getting put out ready for the game. It was brilliant, out onto the pitch and stuff. Really, really good experience. So yeah, do check that video out if you haven't seen it. Great to see a few of the other channels as well there. There was quite a few people there. Amish Chat were there, West Ham Fan TV. There were people there from West Ham Way. There was a decent amount of people there. Great to see everybody. And I'm looking forward to actually seeing everybody else's videos when they got up as well. But no, it was good. It was nice to see a bit more of the stadium. It was nice to get more of a feel for it. One thing I was actually really surprised about, and this is going to sound like I'm advertising, I promise you I'm not, honestly, but we went into the bowling bar, and it's quite nice. It's just set up as a bar, really. It's not really a lounge, it's just a bar, but it's quite nice in there. And they were saying that the price for membership for the bowling bar was £1,000 a season, but that includes a season ticket.
Yes, yeah.
And the seats were obviously really good seats. It was in line with all the other lounges. So if you think about where these people are paying all that money for sitting in like the proper premium stuff. I know, what's his name, Spencer, he had his seat in one of them last year. Like the amount of money them lot are paying, and this comes with them same sort of seats I thought that was pretty decent.
It looked good, mate. I caught myself the videos that looked like some of the how the other half live, in the nice bits. But yeah, go check that out, guys. I'm sure Paul put some special link up here or link down here, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, so that's our preview as well, guys, for the West Brom game tour, and wrapped up that. We're going to do some questions now. I may, if I get a chance when I get home from work tomorrow, I might do a mixed 11 West Brom, West Ham. If not, I'll definitely do a review of the game. Okay, only a few questions, mate, because we put it out quite late. We was deciding whether we was going to do a podcast or not this week, so there's not that many. SB says, if you can interview any current player, whom would it be and why? I'll tell you what, we'll go any current West Ham player or any current player in the world as well.
All right, okay. Well, if I could interview any current West Ham player, why? It would probably be, I don't know, it would either be Lanzini or Adrian, I think. Just to sort of ask them like where they feel their future is. If the player had to be completely honest, not the stupid press blah 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 answers, but like an actual answer. Do you know what I mean?
Where you're getting genuine answers out of them. Yeah, that'd be quite interesting. Yeah,
what about yourself?
I'd quite like to speak to Antonio. He looks like a funny guy. It'd be quite a good interview. Play some FIFA with him, perhaps, in the interview. World players. I don't know.
For me, I'm gonna be proper bait and say Messi, just so I could meet him.
Yeah. I don't know. Trying to think now. I don't know, I'm a big fan of people like Sergio Aguero, people like that. I wouldn't mind meeting people like that. If I'm not going to go for your obvious, like your Ronaldos and Yeah, perhaps someone like Aguero I'd quite like to meet and talk to. Big fan of Kevin De Bruyne as well, someone like that, like these up and coming players. Okay, Lewis John, I told you we had a question like this, mate. It says, Hernandez has thrown his toys out of his pram. How long before he pipes up about playing on the wing and wants out? There you go, mate. You sort of was mentioning that a little bit earlier.
Won't be long. And who could blame him? Like I say, a player that's scored every single one of his Premier League goals from inside the box. One of the most natural goal scorers we've ever had. And he's been played on the wing. No, if I was him, I'd be kicking off as well. It's a similar situation to playing Antonio at right back. Why does Slav do it? Why does he do it? I want to strangle the man sometimes. I really do. I swear. And you had the same situation with Antonio basically coming out and saying, I will not play right back. You had the likes of Noble in the dressing room saying, like, Slav, what are you doing? The same thing is going to happen with Hernandez. You don't buy a player like Javier Hernandez and play him on the wing.
No, I've got some pals in work that are Newcastle fans, and obviously there's a couple, even Man United fans, were saying they would do anything to have him and play him up front like that. Even they couldn't understand why he's been playing left wing for a couple of games. It's a strange one. Like I say, I hope it doesn't have too much development. I hope he just sort of gets...
See, the thing is, what worries me is Slav's got form.
No, he's got form
for doing it.
Square pegs round holes.
And it genuinely wouldn't surprise me to see in 2 weeks' time he's been shoved out on the wing again, and he will kick off, and he'll be saying, yeah, that's it. He'll be injured. He wants to go in January, and if that happens, then
by Slav,
what a waste. Yeah. But it shouldn't come to that. It shouldn't even come to that. Like I say, it's just absolute madness. I understand Slav might be thinking, no, I'm the manager, I decide where you play, but that's just
and
stupidity.
We're not talking about, like you say, mate, we're not talking about some average striker. This is world class. He is world class. I know other fans might think, oh, no, this guy is one of the best finishers in the world. He is. I don't know. Paul, Cockney Perlo, do you believe we could use Arnautovic as a number 10 rather than a wide player if Lanzini is still out for the West Brom game? Did not even think of that.
He's probably the only player apart from Lanzini, technically,
that's
got the ability to do it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like he could play there. I don't think he's not a number 10. I don't think.
If you played him at number 10, you'd get like the Özil-like performances. Like, he's not going to run for you in the midfield. He would literally, you pass it to him, and every now and then he's going to ping that killer ball through. But again, if you're winning, perfect. But if he's there and he's got to pull his socks up, I wouldn't like him in that number 10 position if we're losing.
Yeah,
so I don't think you get the legs. Sarif, why does he get so much stick from our fans? He always seems to score vital goals for us. Bit of an unsung hero, in my opinion.
I agree completely.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
I agree completely. I don't think I've ever slagged him off on this channel.
I think he got a really bad injury when he first come to West Ham in the Chelsea game. And he sort of he had a quite good record towards the end of last year, didn't he? When he like 4 in 7 or something like that, or an assist
100%.
or something like that.
He's a good player. There's no doubt in it. He's a good player and he scores goals. I don't understand why he's getting stick either, mate. I agree with you 100%. I don't get it. I think he's a good player. I think he'll end up being very good for us. I think the biggest thing with IU is finding his position. I remember I say I never slagged him off, but when he actually first joined in the first few games he played, I remember sort of thinking, and I remember saying, what is this guy's position? What does he do? He doesn't really seem to do much to impact the game, but he'll pop up with them goals. Do you know what I mean? But if that's what he does and that's what he's good at, so, fair enough.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate.
I actually think he's quite a good player to come off the bench rather than
like
be a
super
star.
Sub sort of thing, yeah. Anything me and Paul are saying, guys, if you agree, disagree, leave some comments, obviously, on the Hernandez stuff, the IU stuff. Sarif, again, would you give Bilic more time or try to find a replacement manager before the next transfer window? I still think he needs to be replaced. At the moment, I'm still over here with Slav. I would, like I say, I'd love him to turn it around. There would be nothing better for me to see that man turn it around. But
couldn't agree more. 100%. Yeah, for me, it's still
jury's out.
Too much. Yeah, too much has happened. No, I don't think we should keep him on.
I don't think he'll be our manager next year.
No, I don't think he'll be out unless he does some miracle and we end up finishing in the top 6. He won't be our manager next year. But it depends what happens in the next few games. Like I say, if we do end up building on the Huddersfield performance and we play some good games and we get some points on the board, then he deserves a chance to turn it around and to do something this season. If we just go back to not playing well, losing, rolling over, then no, he has to go. If it was up to me, if I was in charge, he would have been gone already. But like I say, he's got the win now. I'm willing to give him a chance.
There's one more question. It's from Dave. He says, "What do we make on the Frank de Boer sacking after only 4 games? Surely this is the same with the Slav calling Slav out after 4. But again,
no, it's not. It's not.
I know what you're going to say. I'll let you say it, mate. Go on.
Yeah, it's not the same at all because Slav hasn't been in charge of West Ham for just 4 games. Do you know what I mean?
4 transfer windows as well, I think.
Yeah, as we've said previously on this show, it's not about the last 4 games or up until this week, the last 3 games. It's not about this season.
About last 20.
It's about last season as well, and it's about even the end of the last season at the Boleyn. It goes way back. These issues have been going on for a long, long time. It's nothing like it. It's not similar at all. I do think that sacking De Boer after 4 games is very, very harsh. Yes, they've had a poor start to the season, but seriously, 4 games.
And he was trying to bring in a method of football, to be fair, that their players are not good enough. They have got quite a good team, Palace. But if anyone's seen me and Paul's Premier League preview, I predict Palace to go down. So I'm hoping that they do go down for my prediction. Because I just sort of thought they're going to struggle this year. They just don't look good.
Nah, and I think he definitely deserved more time. I understand that the board there probably started panicking, but like you say, if you're going to bring a new manager in, you've got to give him time to instill their philosophy, to find out their best team, their best formation, try and get them used to the way they want to play. I mean, one thing I will say is I haven't made a point of watching Palace this season, so I don't know if there have been any signs of improvement.
They've been quite unlucky,
or what,
actually. I've watched a couple of their games. The Boers' last game, actually, I think they had something ridiculous like 17, 18 shots, and it just wouldn't go in. And then they lost. They ended up losing.
But no, I think it's very harsh. And no, it's in no way similar
to
our situation with Slav.
That is it for the questions, guys. Not many this week. Like I say, we only decided to do a podcast, I think, last night. So I only put that tweet out. So if you do have any questions for next week, guys, drop it in the comments, drop it on Twitter, whatever you want. Make sure you check out Paul's tour video. I will be back with a review of the West Brom game. Hopefully we win that one and carry on going the right way up the table. That's it, mate, unless you've got anything else to say.
No, just like I say, make sure you do check out the stadium tour video. Really, really interesting. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. As Luke says, if you guys have got any questions, send them in. Listen, we want to know your thoughts as well on the likes of Bilic, on Hernandez, on Sacco. If you don't agree with us, let us know. Let us know in the comments below, and then we can talk about it next week. We can discuss it. Yeah, absolutely.
Until then, guys, till next week, come on your irons, keep believing. Let's go.
Cheers.